It's Monday, March 24th.
I've just requested that the Governor General dissolve Parliament and call an election for April 28th.
A monumental decision. Canadians will have 5 weeks to decide on who they want to navigate our country through an unprecedented challenge.
Probably be voting Conservative.
There's a shred of hope that I think Liberals have a chance.
I think it's neck and neck. They both have good ideas.
Dead heat. Polling shows it's anybody's race in this election, at least when it comes to the Liberals and Conservatives. A massive change in polling since the start of the year.
That was the actual physical building. I will miss it, yeah. A big department store where you can get pretty much what you need.
Saying bye to the Bay. Hudson's Bay liquidation begins today at all but 6 locations across the country. Those 6 stores are in the Toronto and Montreal areas.
And Canada is going to win back-to-back World Championships.
On top of the world again, Team Homan defending their World Championship, dominating Switzerland in the final. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And I'm Kelsey McEwen. Hope your Monday's off to a great start.
It's go time.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, let's tee everything up for everybody right across the country this morning. Party leaders are spreading out across Canada on this, the first full day of campaigning for the federal election.
Donald Trump wants to break us so America can own us. We will not let that happen.
Liberal leader Mark Carney was in St. John's for his first campaign stop after yesterday's election call. So earlier in the day, he asked the Governor General to dissolve Parliament, sending Canadians to the polls on April 28th. In calling the election, Mark Carney says Canada's next prime minister needs a strong mandate to deal with U.S. President Donald Trump. Facing 4 years of the Trump administration has become the defining issue. At the start of this campaign, it was also a big part of Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's opening pitch.
You can be respectful and firm, and I believe we have to be both. I will insist the president recognize the independence and sovereignty of Canada.
Poilievre is casting himself as the change candidate. In his opening remarks, he referred to the last 10 years as, quote, the lost Liberal decade. This is Pierre Poilievre's first election as Conservative Party leader.
When Donald Trump comes demanding concessions, who will say no to trading away Canadian jobs or the things we grow and build and ship?
During his campaign launch, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh campaigned on programs like dental care and pharmacare. He calls the programs progressive moves that the NDP forced the Liberals to take.
Because as we did in the last 6 years, we will support what is good for Quebec.
For Bloc leader Yves-François Blanchet, his message remains the same. His party will keep putting Quebec's interests first. The Bloc officially kicks off its campaign today in Quebec City.
Vote like your country depends on it. Vote like your planet depends on it. Vote like your future depends on it.
Green Party co-leaders Elizabeth May and Jonathan Petteneau say they will defend, quote, the progressive vision of Canada. The party is looking to build on their 2 seats in Parliament. Let's talk about polling, because recent polling shows it's a dead heat now between the Liberals and the Conservatives, which is a big change from a couple of months ago.
As of a few months ago, I was more interested in a Conservative. Absolutely, I'm voting for Carney. I was like, oh, that guy has my confidence. He looks competent.
I ignorantly voted for the Liberals, and I regret my vote. I'm going to be voting for Pierre Poilievre, and I hope he steps up to the challenge.
At the beginning of 2025, Nanos Research had the Conservatives winning a majority with a massive 225 seats in the House of Commons. Fast forward to the end of February, just before Mark Carney was elected Liberal leader, and the Liberal Party had significantly narrowed the gap, leaving the Conservatives just shy of 130 projected seats and a minority government. So let's talk about the campaign, because this 37-day election campaign, it is the shortest allowed under Canadian law. There is a new magic number that you need to keep your eye on. Parties now need to win 172 seats to form a majority government.
The addition of these new ridings and the new boundaries seem to have a slight benefit to the Conservatives, not just where the additional seats are, but some of the boundaries. But I wouldn't, count it being the deciding factor.
So there are now 5 more ridings and 5 more seats in the House of Commons. 338 seats now grow to 343 seats. One of those additional seats is in BC. There are 3 more now in Alberta and an added seat in Ontario. The boundaries of 295 ridings have also changed since the last election. 48 ridings have not changed, but of course the most important number is the 28th of April. That will be Election Day. Advance polls, by the way, open on April 18th and run through to the 21st. In other news today, there may be a generational divide when it comes to whether people are going to miss the Bay when it's gone.
Usually I just use it to get into the mall, so we don't really shop in there. At least I don't.
Yeah, not in a long time.
I guess because it's been around for so long, we've been around for a while too, so we liked it.
Hudson's Bay will start liquidating all but 6 of its stores, and that begins today. The 6 stores being saved are the flagship location on Yonge Street in Toronto, as well as at Yorkdale Mall and Hillcrest Mall in Richmond Hill. The others being saved are in downtown Montreal and locations in Laval and Pointe-Claire. Hudson's Bay has 80 stores, as well as 3 Saks Fifth Avenue locations, as well as 13 Saks Off Fifth locations. So liquidation is expected to conclude by June 15th, and stores could be vacated by the 30th of June. To sports news now, Canada's Team Homan remains on top of the curling world.
Final stone here in this 9th. Has she got 3? Vichunke. Desperate times. Here we go. And no, she will not. And it will be a steal of 1 more for Canada.
Team Canada beat Switzerland 7-3 in the World Women's Curling Championship final Sunday. They really took control in the 7th end, scoring twice to take a 4-3 lead before stealing 2 in the 8th. It's Team Homan's 2nd straight world title, making them the first Canadian team to repeat as women's world champs since Sandra Schmirler's team did it in 1993 and 1994. Canada's national men's soccer team is heading home with smiles on their faces after a well-earned 2-1 win over the U.S.
Lovely little ball through. It's Jonathan David! What a strike from Jonathan David to give Canada the lead!
Star striker Jonathan David scoring the winner for Canada in the 59th minute of Sunday's third place match in the CONCACAF Nations League. Canada was able to regroup after the disappointment of Thursday's 2-0 semi-final loss to Mexico. David's winning goal might not even be the most memorable moment of the game. 5 minutes before that happened, coach Jesse Marsh was sent to sit in the stands for this moment, getting a red card for blowing up at the ref over what he thought should have been a penalty kick for Canada. Marsh will now miss the first game of Canada's Gold Cup campaign this summer. By the way, Mexico won the Nations League final over Panama 2-1. Turning to today's panda news. Hong Kong's beloved panda cubs, affectionately known as elder sister and elder brother, are making their public debut. They were born back in August. Their mom's name is Yang Ying, who made history as the oldest giant panda on record to give birth. She did that before her 19th birthday. They've been separated for a period after their birth, so they're also being reunited as they make their debut.